between the before and the after. This is the Interlude. And I am so excited that you are joining us today because we have something very special for you. As you know, we always like to take you behind the scenes here at the Interlude. So in just a few moments, I'm going to do that. We got our crew that is just wrapping up the 8 a.m. worship service. So we're going to let them do that. But as soon as they're done, I'm going to take you back behind the scenes. But as you also know, this weekend is the start of a new season here at the church called Advent. What does this mean? Advent means coming. It means coming in two different ways. First, we celebrate the joy of the upcoming Christmas season, and we celebrate the fact that Jesus Christ is coming into the world. On December 25th, we celebrate that the newborn Christ child has truly come into the world. And so we prepare our hearts for that. We prepare our lives for that. You notice that in worship, the sanctuary looks a little bit different. We have even more music. We have the choir. We have all kinds of wonderful things to celebrate that Jesus is coming. But there is a second meaning to the Advent season as well. And that is not just about December 25th, Christmas Day itself, but it is about every day. And the opportunity for all of us, for you and for me, to always and all the time prepare our hearts for Jesus coming into our lives. That means it's not just one day a year, but throughout the whole year. How do we open up our hearts for Christ Jesus? That's also a very important meaning of Advent that I want you to consider on this day, even at this very hour on this morning. We're not even yet at Christmas, but how can you today open up your hearts to Christ? You heard a very powerful message from Pastor Jeff this morning, talking about even in difficult times, even with struggles, even in the midst of pain, our God is with us. And so we celebrate that God comes into our lives, even in the midst of that. Now, my friends, with this start of the Advent season, I do want to take you behind the scenes of La Casa de Cristo because there is so much that goes on here, and you see the face of it on the screen as you watch online, but how is this all put together? How does the technology work? And even more importantly than that, who are the people that are behind it all, putting it all together? So, follow me. We're going to go into one of our back rooms here at La Casa de Cristo, and we're going to go into our audio and video media booth, and we're going to sneak up on them and see what's going on. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Pastor Matt. How are you doing?
Doing great. This is Ethan. I'm sorry to catch you by surprise here, Ethan, but I wanted to show a little sneak peek behind the scenes to what actually happens here. It looks like you have some very fancy equipment. Can you tell us what happens back here in this room?
Yeah, of course. So from back here, this is where we operate the entire 9:30 and 8 o'clock services, as well as the Saturday night service at 5 o'clock. So we have a few different things here. In the back over there, you have Gary. Gary operates the soundboard, so he's controlling what you hear right now. If he wanted to be really mean, he could cut me off and prevent me from saying anything, but I know he won't do that because he's a good person. We have the slides, so anything you see that's like, the Apostles' Creed, the Lord's Prayer, all the lyrics for songs, that's going to be here, and we'll have one person controlling that. And then we have the switcher right here, which is definitely not the Death Star control console, but it's anything that you see on the screens. This is what controls it. So this is like the images for it, but then all like the cameras and what actually goes up on stream. You can also make sure that what is in the house, so in the sanctuary, and on the stream is different. So I can make you guys see two different things with that. And yeah, so I can control everything from here.
Ethan, thank you so much for your work. Appreciate all that you do. I see Dr. Peterman standing here too. Dr. Peterman, what's the communication like between what you do and the team back here? And tell us about that part of the process.
Well, I just wanted to correct Ethan that the Death Star control council's down by the organ. So, so I actually feed all of the text to Connor. I kind of match it up with the bulletin, and also for the offertory, whenever the sanctuary choir is singing, I try and match when they have breaths or maybe pauses, interludes with music, and they're singing. So I put a blank in the slide. Actually, I type blank, then Connor has to go in, delete the blank, so there's an extra slide. But today, in the past few weeks, we've been excited to have another person in the tech booth who I keep on asking him at the last minute, and the bulletins have already been printed, so his name has not made it quite yet into the bulletin. But we have our guest here, Aiden, who has been dominating.
Way to go, Aiden, our oldest and wisest member of the group. Aiden, how old are you?
I'm 10.
10 years old, and you're volunteering here at the church. Tell us, how did you first get plugged in with volunteering back here?
They needed help with the song, so I'm like, I can help you guys, and so now I'm here.
This is so fun. So for those that are watching online right now that don't have a clue as to what goes on back here, tell them what your job is and what you're doing.
I would normally have a white binder here, calling the shots and telling them okay, this shot is next, and all that stuff.
You usually wear one of those fancy headsets. I've seen you with that on before. So you can talk to any of the other guys here at any time, right?
Yes.
So you're looking at your binder, you're seeing what's coming up in worship, you're following along with the lyrics of the songs, and then you're telling the other guys what to do?
Yeah.
So if I hear this correctly, you're the boss back here.
Yes.
Aiden, that's fantastic. I'm so happy you're here today. You were here this morning at the 8 a.m. worship service?
Yes.
So if you watched the 8 a.m. worship service today, if you happen to be a part of that congregation this morning online, it was all thanks to Aiden here who did all the fantastic work. Aiden, thank you so much. I want to cut back behind you here to Mr. Connor. So if you don't mind handing the microphone back to Connor there.
Thanks, buddy.
Connor, you're so integral to what happens back here too. Tell us what your role is back here in the booth.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a little bit of everything, save for audio mainly. We have our gurus, Gary or Danny, doing that. So they're also a huge part of anyone being able to hear anything that we're talking about here on the Interlude. And if you're watching online, and the messages and the music reaching all the way into the back of the sanctuary as well. In a nutshell, I guess you could say that I oversee our worship team on the back end. We're just making sure that communication is fluid. Everybody's on top of things with the slides, the camera switchers, and the manned cameras. Even right now, we have someone making sure that the Interlude camera is going on. So, and that applies for here and in the gathering place. So it certainly takes a village, and we all get around.
Now, everybody always sees up front. We, of course, see Pastor Jeff up there. We see the musicians up there. But what would happen, Connor, if your entire team just didn't show up to worship? What would be missing from worship in that case?
Wow, I almost don't even want to think about it or imagine that. There's certainly been cases where we've been a little spread thin before. Even this week, we're not actually at full capacity, but we've all managed to wear many hats, which often is a requisite for the role. Live production, you kind of have to be prepared for anything. But to actually answer your question, if I didn't have my team, I mean, gosh, I think worship that given weekend couldn't exactly be how we're all used to everything being. Maybe it would be unplugged or acoustic. I'm not sure. Again, I don't want to think about it. I want everybody in the sanctuary and online to be able to experience worship to the excellence that we all want it to be at. So it's blessings to have people like Aiden and any newcomers and even people that have been doing this for years to be a part of it, because we're all active ingredients in just making worship happen for our congregation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I know so much would not happen if you didn't show up, but just one of those many things, I wouldn't be able to follow along with the lyrics to the music.
Absolutely.
And so I need that. So thank you for your role in that. Dr. Peterman, before you take off here, I'm still want to get some more questions in for the AV team, but I do have a question for you specifically about the music this morning. I saw that the bells were prominently featured this morning more than one time. Tell us about those pieces that the bells shared.
The first piece that they rang as a solo is called In the Bleak Midwinter, and that is my favorite Christmas hymn tune. I love it. And it's a very meditative piece for the solid 5 minutes, and it also has a piano or keyboard part to it. But because it was so involved using our 15 or more bell ringers plus piano, that's where Aiden came in to play, because he was able to cue them when Michael with the big bells was ringing, or big chimes, and then different parts. So Aiden is integral to showing off which of our bell ringers are ringing at any one time. And then the other piece that they rang that was really big was the offertory. Christmas is coming, which we did before the sermon. It seems like everybody did okay today, moving the offertory early, but because it's so hard, we wanted them to be on their game and just still bells in hand from In the Bleak Midwinter. And that is a kind of a 70s, it wasn't written in the 70s, but has a spirit of certain harmonies that you might hear from some of those rock songs from the 70s. Anyway, that was accompanied only by the bells, with singing from the sanctuary choir. And again, Aiden led the charge, did awesome today. I give him, in quotes, say this to the tech team. Does it work? Like, prep low bells, prep Lisa bells, prep piano, go piano. So I'm hoping that our instructions are working. My goal is to have him spoil you all, get you so used to hearing where to go that you don't even have to think anymore.
Jeremy, thank you so much, and thank you for the collaboration between music and the tech team here. We don't want to leave the interlude today without saying a quick hello to Gary Spears back here. Gary, what are you doing on this board?
Okay, this board is our audio mixer. So what we do here is turn up and down all the microphones, all the groups of microphones for the choir, for example, all the bell microphones, that type of thing. And so we have to make sure that first it sounds real good in the house here, and then we also have to make sure it sounds good on the stream. So basically that's what we do from the audio mixer. I'm also the AV technical director, and they're making fun of me for not holding the mic up. I think you think I'd know that. Anyway, I'm the AV technical director, so I help with the design and the implementation of all the equipment as well. So that's basically my job in a nutshell. It's a lot of fun. We really, really could use some more volunteers. If any of you out there want to come and learn how to fly the Starship, we're right here waiting for you.
Thank you, Gary. Hey, Ethan, give us another angle on that camera there. Can you get us back here in the booth? All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the interlude today. Stay tuned for the 9:15 a.m. service. We have a beautiful, beautiful worship service planned for you today. Here we are, live to you back from the AV Tech booth at La Casa de Cristo. God bless you all. This has been the interlude.